Scavenger. Your geologic analyzer circuits are better now than the day you were assembled. Let's transform and return to base.
Welcome back to the Titanium here. This is Mike. Today I want to talk to you about the FansToys FT-32B. Right. This is their second Constructicon. Am I right? Is it their second? It's only their second Constructicon, so there's going to be 4 more to go after this. As you can see, pretty decent looking bot overall. Is it perfect? Well, it's not perfect in every mode. I do believe they're going for the combined mode as their #1 goal, their end goal. But I did get this to show you, so I have a link down below where you can get yours. And remember, TH in the support your reviewer box on the main page helps channel out when you go to buy stuff there. But we're going to take a look at this. We're going to get on the right side of this review coming up. Here's the box. Typical FansToys type of box. Looks nice. So remember, because it's artwork and it's not showing the actual product, they are going for the cartoon look. If they were going for the toy look, they would show the actual product. That's their mantra, how it goes. We will be able to compare as we get to each mode to these nice pictures. And yeah, there's the 2 that they've done thus far. Let's get into it. Here he is out of the box, and you know, I always underestimate how big FansToys figures are. Try to get them completely in scale there. I do like the purple, and I have to admit that the purple on the screen's not matching what I see in person. It's more of a reddish to the purple than what my camera's picking up, but I'll check that in editing too. But yeah, it looks good. If you can see, like, it's kind of gleaming because it has the paint. It's not super ultra shiny, but it's shiny enough that it feels premium, looks premium, all that kind of stuff. Now, one of the things you're going to hear people complain about is the back, and there's a lot of stuff going on back there. I sort of don't care. I don't really care about the back. Yes, there's a lot going on, but a huge backpack. But really, from the front, he looks fine to me, and he really looks the part. But then they incorporated the hand inside of all of this, and yeah, it's parts forming, but it added some bulk to them. But when you bring it back around the front, I think it looks fine. It's really not a big deal. And in this mode, really, there's very few of this character that you can find looking good, including the G1. Yeah, that one usually doesn't look very good itself, too. But anyhow, I think it looks good. I think it looks fine. Let's get into some articulation, then accessories, and then comparisons. With his head, it looks like he's got some nice metallic eyes paint there, side to side. It goes up, and he's hindered by himself. Shoulders go out to here, 360, but again hindered by himself. Bicep swivel. Yeah, right out the box. When we get to the ankles, I'll show you. Mine was completely reversed and then closed up like this. It's really weird. I don't know. I think it's just going to be however they had it when they put it in the box is what's going to happen. Waist swivel, you've got flips, flaps, and these flaps back here really aren't flaps. It is, but it's not. No ab crunch. You have thigh swivel right there. So we go all the way to the 90, but you're going to be hindered back here. You could get this out of the way and get more out of it if you need it. That kind of stuff. But don't scratch your paint. And then, let's see. You could do a lot with these, but really, technically, you're only a little bit past the 90 on the knee. And then you do have the ankle rockers. Not really much of anything front and back. So articulation isn't the most stellar on this guy, but I don't think that many people are really worried about getting him for crazy robot poses. But out of the box, you will have to pull that out. There's a couple other things I suggest, but I really think that its mileage may vary depending on what's done on yours, because my hip flaps are already out and stuff. But there you go. Articulation and stuff. He does have his 2 accessories. He has his die-cast and vac metalized trumpet, which X-Transbot's copied. I mean, there's only so much copying that can go on, right? And it's tit for tat, but it goes both ways. Plus, he has this gun. I must be missing something on this, but the tab for this is like a quarter of the size of the slot, so it doesn't. You're holding it by friction for me, unless I did something wrong. So yeah, this tab is tiny compared to the slot in his hand. The slot in the hand is for the gun, and here is the gun. Looks pretty good overall. 2 accessories, and I'm not a huge accessory guy, so no disappointment at all. I guess you can count his hand as an accessory too. All right, now for comparisons, this is Magic Square's Prime. I mean, I guess I could pull MP44 over here also. And then here's X-Transbot's Long Haul. So there we go with them side by side. As you can see, it's bigger. An arm is bigger than one of the main X-Transbots ones. X-Transbots is probably using some sort of a skeleton piece. I don't know. We don't know yet. We don't know all the details on it, and that's the toy version. And FansToys isn't doing both versions. In fact, doesn't look like we've seen an X-Transbot's toy version of anything else past this one. So that's kind of strange that they've done it. Anyway, some people are going to say, Mike, we want to see this next to, of course, the FansToys version. And so let's do that right now. Okay, let's pull this guy out. And this is the FansToys. Oh, well, FansToys version of Prime, right? Is that what you wanted to see? So here he is next to the FansToys White Prime. Through the power of 3D printed parts that we did last week, or maybe the week before, now I'm starting to forget, we were able to have our cake and eat it too with that. Okay, so you want to see it next to the other Constructicon. And here it is. So my goal with all these, of course, is combined mode. I still believe FansToys is going to be the best combined mode, but I'm not going to say definitively until I've compared it to X-Transbot's combined mode. Shozy did come through for me. Shozy got me the Matrix that was missing. And thank you so much, Shozy. I appreciate that. That's really awesome. Here they are next to Megatron, and some people are going to say, yeah, he shouldn't be bigger than Megatron or same size as Megatron. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with him being big. Here's the thing. They mass shifted from tiny little guys into somehow a guy that's half the size of Megatron turns into a leg that's taller than Megatron. None of that made any sense. So some mass shifting is still going to occur, but at the end of the day, there's got to have some sort of scaling to it. Now for the transformation, you kind of want to get the arms down to the side, make the hands straight, and we're going to do some stuff with this guy. We can turn his head and then fold down this piece to cover his face, and then we want to disconnect this arm, which I find it's really interesting. When you kind of push down and then you can lift up, and that disconnects this arm. And then what you're going to want to do is rotate this around and then open this up and rotate it around. And then it's just going to fold and lay flat like that. So you can do that to the other side. Next, let's go ahead and get to these little panels here, since they're easily accessible and you can see them here. And this is really not a necessary part, but I'm going to do it anyway, just kind of free up the backpack. So working in this area is a little bit easier than not having the backpack freed up and in the way there. So we are going to move it over into this orientation, and we need to get these arms up and into here. So the way to do that is to rotate this, but then we have to rotate it again. See if I can make it streamlined. As you can see what I did, what you're doing is just adjusting the orientation so it's up. Makes sense. And then we can kind of bring it in here into this area. Now, I did that wrong. So you got to get this tab into that slot, which is why it's set up the way it is. And there it sort of goes. And you'll know you're in the right spot when all this lines up. So let me get the correct line up here. Not sure if the camera's going to pick it up, but you can see that there's the tab, there's the slot, and you're lining it up, and you're trying to wiggle this arm and that tab into place all at the same time. And much easier if I was just not filming it. Anyway, that's how we're working on that. I'll be right back. All right, I pulled it off camera just a little bit, but it kind of shifted back and shifted in, and that's how that worked. Now, so that's in place. Hopefully I can get the other side a little bit easier. One thing that I'm noticing is you're going to have to pop this up. Push this up into here to get all this to connect well. And then this is going to fold over and connect to that. So this piece here hinders this from connecting down for whatever reason. So it has to kind of like go past that. And then this connects to that. Same thing on the other side. It's just a little tricky. It's not super ultra tricky or anything, but get that up there. Got it to the back. And this one should be a little easier because I'm going, well, got to clear that. So that's part of the problem there. There we go. This one will go a lot easier and be able to be done on camera, I believe. There we go. Shifted back, shifted forward. You see a tab that's going to be right there. This is going to go in. This is going to go down. This is going to go down. And then that should tab into place. This should connect to here. So we should have the top mostly done. We do need to do, we're going to fold this up. We should be mostly okay for that one. For the legs, you're going to move the legs down, and then you're going to push down on this as you're pulling down on the legs. And as you're going to see through the magic that's about to happen, it's about to be magic here, is that it's on a slider. I just did it off camera. It's hard to do from this angle. But you're pushing down on this as you're pulling on. I wouldn't pull on the legs as hard as push down on this. There it goes. It came out. You can see the slider point right there where it's now exposed. The hips, spread them hips wide. There you go. Spreads them wide there. We are going to come over here and we are going to fold this up. Now, I've seen a lot of strange, goofy stuff with this, but the materials hold, so I'm just going to do it like this. Boom, boom, put that in there, and it works. Then we fold it around. We find this, it's a notch, this tab, and make that happen, Captain. Make that happen, and then fold this up over to here, and then do the same thing on the other side. There it is. I don't even know how I arbitrarily just looked, but it's a 5-minute transformation for this guy is what took me. So it's not bad. 5 minutes to transform it to a Masterpiece Transformer, which I believe that to be a very simplistic transformation. So yeah, looks good. Little opening in the back, and I feel like I didn't line something up right, but they're both equally kind of disproportionately angled. So maybe one tab didn't go in as tight as it should, but the sides look clean. But the insides are angled, but I'm sure that has to do, that's their engineering. You do notice the screw hole covers, which good thing they covered them though. I mean, it looks much cleaner covered than if just screws just hanging out. I didn't see any way to cover up the hand there, but I mean, that's really not bad. That's not bad. And the purple looks fine. He does have some feature function. It functions, moves back and forth. I would definitely be careful with that joint there. But yeah, you can get some stuff going on there with this guy. And does this doesn't open up or anything. Doesn't do anything special, does it? Nothing special? I could have sworn that thing was supposed to open. I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up, but there's a little seat in there. You can see a little seat in there. Strange that it doesn't open to put something in there. But it's cool that they included it. So, yeah, there's that. I'm sure there's a way to get it open. Well, there's a will, there's a way. But, yeah, it looks pretty good overall. I would have my G1, AG1, to compare it to. But they're all combined. And if you have ever dealt with the G1 Devastator, it's like once you have it together, leave it. Because if you try to mess with that thing, getting it together and standing, and it's been standing for like 5 years. Whoa, I don't think I want to try to mess it taking it apart. But anyway, it looks pretty good overall. Let's get into comparisons. Here he is next to the X-Trans bots. Not the same character, but it's going to have to get the job done. It's going to have to work. And there she blows. That's how it is done. And decent size. I can get with this. I'm okay with it. You can see the color differences between the X-Transbots and the FansToys also. Magic Square Prime. Oh my Primus. There it is. Oh, looks good. And comparing to some other stuff, I haven't really been comparing it to these. I usually do, just because it's my extras. And when you put them into alt mode, this is the Sphinx from MMC, which was touted as the best Mirage for like 7 years or 5 years. So other ones started coming out, and it's still pretty good. But FansToys, X-Transbots 2.0 that actually is able to transform size. It works. Now we got a party trick. This will impress all your friends. Convert, transform that. There's this notch here. You got tab. It will work on this tab. It will also work on this tab if you want to, for whatever reason. Tab in like that, or you can tab it in like this. This one does kind of interfere with that, but it's a thing you can do if you want to. Now to get into the arm, it's going to take some deconstructing of sorts. So we're going to deconstruct this. I want to get the arms out, which if the way FansToys is, once it's tabbed in tight. So let's bring this top part up. Undo these back pieces. Oh, I did that first, right? And then you can bring that up, get that out of the way, and then from there you'll be able to more easily manipulate these arms out, because there's a tab at the bottom. And do look, there was a tab at the top holding them in too. So all of that fun stuff, I would probably not advise grabbing on that hinge. Right back here, pops those out. Let's do the same thing over here. Pop that arm out. Pretty good stuff right there. And then we're going to move these legs, detach them. Detach. That was in there good. So that's the thing about FansToys. It can tab in really, really, really well. So we detach these legs. Let's just get them down here out of the way for now. And then we want to get this out of here, and it's going to come down and just rest like so right there. Same thing over here. It's going to rest like so there. Want to pull out the hand box. You got a nice hand box there. And then we're going to do all the same, kind of bringing these arms in, but on the same exact joint and way you had it before, except now we're going to tab them in this fashion. They should line up to these notches in the lower arm for this lower leg, and same thing over here on this side. This is it's almost like a little less. It's easier in a way to get these arms lined up, but yet there's not as much structure holding them in place. All right, just make sure we get this tabbed in right here. Then everything else will line up just right. That was easy. Next thing I want to do real quick, open this up. I want to kind of try to work this down. I'm going to fold this around. So it's hinged here to go down, and then this can go into here, and then this can fold in like so. And we can get that really, really clean. Really clean. So that one's pretty good. So now with all this stuff tabbed in, we can bring this down, but I'm going to kind of hold off and wait and do the legs next, and then tab all of that in once the legs are done. Next thing, as you can see, this one, it actually opened it up, so we're going back to this state, and then we have to sort of bring it down on that hinge to start working on the next phase of this thing, and do the same thing on the other side, which I don't know how one side just pops open automatically, like mistakenly or on its own before I try to do it, but it did it. We're going to bring it down on that hinge, as you can see. There we go. And then we are going to lift this up and Right here we got to untab this. So that's going to fold up like so. Now this piece here has to come up. So once it seats together and connects, that kind of rests right there. And you see we're starting to make the arm, but we got to kind of bring that out now. Now it's all kind of making a lot more sense. Same thing on the other side. We're going to open this up. We are going to undo this tab. We are going to flip this up. Flip that around like so. Tab that in. Have that like that. These two pieces are going to tab together. And then, let's see. These leg connectors need to fold down. So nice that they gave us enough clearance that going on the way back, you'll just be able to undo them like so. Again, so pretty nice, pretty nice. Good engineering, good thinking when it comes to that. And then we are almost there. We are going to need to, I just knocked that off, get the hand taken care of. So let's open it all up. Opens up. The hand coming out is, okay, it's on this little platform here. So you've got, there's a way to grip it. You want to push in on the hand platform. See this little platform thing? As you're trying to work it through here, which is crazy how that's working. That just seems like it would have a lot of resistance. It really does seem like it would have a lot of resistance. There's this notch that goes through that, and then we're going to push all of this through, and then yeah, it's got to be exactly level. I think, let me get this hand. I think it just popped through on its own. And you want it, yeah, pretty much just like that. And then let's get the hand sort of out of the way there. Then what we're going to do is fold out all of this stuff, these connector flaps that are going to tab into it, fold out, and then this is going to come around. This is going to solidify it so it doesn't, really should hold in place. It's supposed to have a little up and down. Yeah, it is stable. These little panels here, they're like, they follow the whole length of it. These panels flip out to keep that stable. Almost forgot that. Okay, did forgot that. All right, this attaches right here, and as you can see, it's gonna slide up. It's on a slider piece, so you'll attach it and slide it up. Wonder if there we go. It slid up. Keep going out of frame there, so I'm going to do it again, but this tabs into here just fine, and then over here. And you might have to shift things around a little bit, but I've already shifted everything around, and then all this tabs in and solidifies that. And we've got ourselves a nice looking arm. Yes, we do. We have a nice looking arm. And in case I mixed my footage, I actually had somehow this not up all the way, but it is there now. It is a good looking arm. I'm really impressed with how good of a job they did here with this arm. The hands, the fingers splay. There's multiple points of articulation on it. Hand goes in and out. Thumb's a little weird. I don't really understand what they got going on with this thumb. It's a little strange the way they did the thumb, but it's just, as FansToys are always like doing things just a little different on each release. But yeah, it's pretty solid. I'm not sure if in the transmission showed you just fold those butt flaps or hip flaps over. And then this came untabbed on me, which I'm not sure it's going to be a big issue once it's combined. Does look like it's got a nice solid connection point right here. It's a solid connection. But yeah, it looks good. I like faux parts because there's no other way to get it look more cartoon than to have the faux parts like we do right here. So that's really nice. Really nice. Will he stand on his own? Yes, he stands on his own. His arm rests on his own accord. So, fantastic FansToys for the arm. And again, this is what I want it for. I want it for... Are you going to give me a hand? No. I want it for a combined mode. But, what else can we compare just an arm to? Here's the X-Transbot's Paragon arm. I haven't taken the time to transform that back. Time is of the essence. So, that's just like a stand I'm using so it doesn't fall over. So we can kind of see two arms. What else do you compare an arm to? An arm to an arm. It's a fun, exciting time to be collecting Master Race Transformers because we got all these combiners coming together. We really don't have a good Defensor yet, and I gotta say that I think both of these options, X-Transbots and FansToys, and even the MMC for that matter, are some of the best looking Devastators. When I look back on it, they might be the best ones ever made. Here's the FansToys leg over here. Let's try to get rid of that glare. There's the X-Transbot's leg over here, and then of course the arm. Give me a hand, give me a leg, give me an arm. Wow, that's a lot of weight trying to turn. Wow. And I'm not sure if I put it out. Little to no die cast in this arm. I'm okay with that. A lot of weight in this leg. I'm okay with that for all the combiner reasons, but they have their pluses and minuses. Each one does something a little bit different with these legs and this arm, and I'm sure the other X-Transbot's arm is going to do some stuff a little bit different, but it is what it is. Alright, so this is my look at the FansToys FT-32B Wright. Did they get it right? Well, for me, I like the combined mode for this set. And I'm not saying that X-Transbots won't be a good combined mode. Sure it will. I'm sure they'll both be fine. But this is my goal. And for Devastator, that's really what I want the most, is a good combined mode. This is looking very tuned. It looks great in all modes. I know the robot mode, a lot of people are giving it crud for having a big old backpack, but you know, who really cares? At the end of the day, the front of the bot looks good. The side starts to break down. I mean, the back of Thomas was kind of rough, and everybody gave Thomas a pass for having a bunch of kibble on the back. This is effectively a triple changer also, so that's what it is. But I'm excited for this set. It's a fun time to be a collector for this, especially with these combiners. But I did get this to Shows You Store. I have a link down below where you can get yours. You can get Wright with FansToys Wright if you want to. It's like $170. It's not the cheapest option in the world, but it's definitely pretty solid. Definitely solid in combined mode. But remember, TH in the Support Your Reviewer on the main page helps the channel out if you're going to buy one of these or any of the other stuff on there. Anything you want to buy on there, Shows You. But like and subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you in on this? Are you out on this? Is it fun just to watch it? Titanium Hanger out.
Megatron, you got it all wrong!
We're still working for you, and for the glory of the Decepticons.
You see, we eavesdropped on their plans. Plans to build a whopper solar tower that'd produce megawatts of energy. Energy we could use to destroy the Autobots.
I finished the hard part, Scavenger. You should be able to take it from here.
Wrong as usual, Hook. Drawing the plans for our new headquarters was the hard part. Plans which the rest of you botched up. Silence! Now unite!
Devastator says, your end is near. This site was unstable.
I was only trying to help! Emergency! Emergency! Decepticons transform! It's about time, Scavenger! Your sensor should have detected a potential fissure in that rock before drilling began. We could have been blown to oblivion.